take refuge at home, because animal attacks are actual. Various animals have attacked human habitats and caused heavy damage at different times and places and in large groups. Let's see together. Number 1. Pest locusts. In 1733, a specific species of locust attacked Japanese farms, leading to famine in the country and eventually starving 12,000 people. But one of the largest, rather than the oldest, recorded locust infestations have been observed in the United States. Between 1874 and 1875, rock locusts, a species that seemed extinct but can never be spoken of with certainty, invaded the western United States. According to quotes, it took about 5 days for a group of locusts that looked like a large cloud in the sky to cross an area. The cloud is estimated to be 1,800 miles long and 110 miles high, making it the largest attack in human history. But other than that, all the other invasions have occurred, mainly in Africa and Asia. Between 1987 and 1989, desert locusts invaded about 38 countries in North Africa and cost more than $300 million to control. In addition to all this, the strange ability of this insect to move in adverse weather conditions can be added to this issue, which makes this insect accessible to all parts of the planet if it attacks. Locusts can fly for 13 to 20 hours without any rest. If they fall into the water, they will easily change their position to skilled swimmers, but at the same time, they do not seem to need to do so because they can easily fly across the Black Sea without landing. Humans need to know and find ways to control this insect because nowhere on Earth will they have 100% security in the absence of locusts. There are theories that the cause of this invasion is, above all, human interference in nature. Interventions that even agriculture is one of them. According to this theory, any activity that leads to desertification anywhere in the world can increase the likelihood of drought and, consequently, locust infestation. That is why these attacks are more common in the drier regions of the world, such as Africa and parts of Asia. In 2004, for example, locust attacks on parts of Africa and the Middle East caused severe damage. Each locust could eat as much as its weight each day, destroying all of the region's crops. Number 2. Bears attack. As you probably know, Russia is a vast country. But you may not know that this land has an island that polar bears suddenly attacked. The story goes that in northern Russia, there is an Algerian community called Novaya Zemlya. The archipelago is located in the Arctic Ocean, northeast of Europe, away from other parts of Russia. A few years ago, shortly after the start of the new year, a group of white polar bears entered the archipelago. The reason for this was nothing but the polar bears' frustration with finding food and hoping to find food in the human habitat. The story becomes interesting when you know that the part of Novaya Zemlya that polar bears attacked has 3,000 inhabitants. And now we see that 52 bears live next to humans in this area. Climate change in recent years has caused problems for the life of Arctic animals and the habitat of many polar bears. Unfortunately, statistics show that the number of polar bears has also decreased. Citizens of Novaya Zemlya reported to the municipality that they had seen 52 bears. But of these, 10 bears are always present in the city and do not go to the surrounding areas. Residents say they are tired of staying at home, but their movement on the city's streets and public buildings is in jeopardy. Russian authorities have deployed air and ground forces in the area to protect the safety of the city's residents. Because bears run after humans when they see them, the possibility of harming humans is very high. Bears have also raided homes to find food, causing panic in the city. In an interview with a news agency, a local official described the situation in the area as follows: "People are scared to leave their homes. Indigenous people's daily lives are disrupted, and parents do not allow their children to go to school or kindergarten. Although parents refuse to take their children to school, authorities have erected fences around schools to prevent bears from approaching the school grounds. Those who have important jobs are also taken to work by unique cars. But this situation cannot be permanent and will soon cause more problems for the region's people." Videos and photos of bears show that the bears are very hungry and go everywhere to find food. Meanwhile, some believe that bears should be killed. Because with this, both the locals and the bears will be comfortable. Unfortunately, due to climate change on Earth, and especially in recent years, the life of living things in the Arctic has become very difficult, and many of them have lost their habitat. Officials in the area have said that killing bears would be the last resort and that killing them would be genocide. Because bears, like humans, have the right to life. Number 3. Bats. Australia, which environmental disasters have plagued in recent months, including droughts, widespread forest fires, and the coronavirus, has seen hundreds of thousands of bats attacking a small town in northern Queensland. In a way, that has made the residents of this area face fear and problem. The flight of the bats over the small town of Ingham, North Queensland, darkened the sky, a news network reported. According to this report, under Queensland state law, bats are protected by environmental regulation, so local authorities can take limited action to control the animals. The number of bats that flew in the sky is more than the population of this city, and these animals are relatively large bats that have broken many branches of trees, the news network said. The news network reported, hundreds of thousands of bats have disrupted the security situation in the city, even disrupting the flight of rescue helicopters. In addition, it can be said that bats have taken control of the town. The locals are afraid of these animals, called frugivorous bats, because they believe that by biting other animals, they transmit a type of virus that causes diseases such as rabies. The report shows 3 reports of the virus being transmitted from bats in Australia in the last 25 years, and all 3 infected people have fallen victim to the virus. Australia is now battling corona, and since bats are known to be a major cause of the disease, this rare environmental incident has caused panic among locals and natives, the report said. Some local experts said that local authorities could only repel the attack of these animals by making smoke or fire noise. But it doesn't seem easy to do so when hundreds of thousands of bats fly simultaneously. Number 4. Crickets. With the mating season of carnivorous crickets, large numbers of these insects have invaded the U.S. state of Oklahoma and, while harassing the people of this state, have caused some fear and panic. In addition to the ugliness of these insects, which disgusted people, the stench of these carnivorous crickets eating each other was also very annoying. These insects covered the streets and neighborhoods of various cities in the state and prevented many people from leaving their homes. Local officials urged people to refrain from killing the insects. Because it causes the rest of the crickets to gather to eat the meat of the killed insects, they asked all the people to fight them by using insecticides and closing the doors and windows. The unwanted guests reportedly stayed in Oklahoma for about 8 weeks. In this unusual and large attack, the streets were filled with crickets, which ate their kind.